Sometimes injuries are looked at as a curse, but in this case, it was a blessing. When Marshawn Lynch got injured, it forced Seattle to rely more on Russell Wilson to throw the football. They didn't know what they had with Rawls. They didn't know he could be what he became. And so they put more of the game plan built around Russell Wilson throwing the football down the field. Skip, I didn't see this coming. I thought he could be a good quarterback. Thought he could be a very good quarterback, but I didn't think he could throw the ball like this from the pocket because we had really never seen him do it.
Nope.
They were pound the football with Marshawn Lynch, let him do a little zone read. He take off running, play action pass you, hit Doug Baldwin the curse down the field. We're going to play great defense. Now they're allowing him to throw the football 30 times, 35 times a game.
Well, they have to.
And he's rewarded them. So with this added dimension to the game, him being able to throw the football and Doug Baldwin playing like he's Jerry Rice, I think the Carolina Panthers should be very, very concerned. I know Carolina went to their building and beat them earlier in the year, but this is a different football team now.
I hear what you're saying. I am so with you on Russell Wilson. I'm going to remind everyone, he's an inch shorter than Johnny Manziel, and he is standing flat-footed in the pocket time after time after time. I don't know how he finds his throwing lanes, but he knows how to find them now.
And he gets very few balls batted. You notice that?
Very few. I don't know. And he doesn't have some 6'8" guy at tight end anymore.
Exactly.
You know, and Jimmy
that might
Graham.
be a positive, too.
I guess
that was.
I guess so.
And that's not a shot at Jimmy Graham.
They were trying. It was like the item was on sale, and you're like, I got to get it.
Yeah.
And then when you buy, you're like, why did I buy this?
It's not working.
Because it was only on sale. And that's what they were trying to find ways to get Jimmy. And it was taking Russell out of his game. Jimmy Graham is a finesse player and a power offense. So, but now he's gotten injured. Marshawn Lynch is injured. Now he has to stand in the pocket, throw the football to those other guys.
So let me get this straight. So the team that got to the 2 previous Super Bowls with the Legion of Boom defense in beast mode is now riding the coattails of the little quarterback standing in the pocket throwing passes to the little receiver.
Yes.
Not that Doug Baldwin's little, but he's not Calvin Johnson.
Agent, yes.
Yeah, an undrafted free agent. Really? That's what it's come to, and it is working like crazy. I'm not saying that the boom has gone completely out of Legion of Boom, but they have not been quite what they were the last 2 years. So, all that said, I'm going to flip your argument for MVP back at you, because if you tell me that Cam Newton is hands down the MVP of this league, and you're telling me that they are only going to have to win 2 home games to get to the Super Bowl, one of them, maybe the first one against Seattle, I just think they're going to win that game, because it was huge for them psychologically after all the trouble that has been caused for Cam Newton by the Legion of Boom to go up there, even though he didn't blow them out. It went to the last play, 36 seconds left, down the seam, and obviously Richard Sherman thought somebody was doing something else. I don't know what they were doing, but they miscommunicated, and nobody covered Greg Olsen to my eye on the play. They let him run right up the seam for a Shannon Sharp Memorial easy touchdown, right? Was it not?
They'd have never let me that wide open. They'd have like 5 guys.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's true. But you would have looked open by the end of the play.
And what's more amazing is that the one guy that you would think they would cover would be Greg Olsen, because he still is Cam's favorite guy. And he's the one guy that they let run scot-free.
Okay, but that made it 27-23 Cam Newton, and you can't tell me that psychologically that was not huge for a football team that feels to me like it's on a meant-to-be roll this year. The mojo is hot and heavy in Carolina. I don't know, you get that, you've been on teams where it just started cooking, you know, like everything starts to fall into place. And every time you need a break, you get a break, and you make a lot of breaks, and there's always some big like soap opera issues that are pro-Carolina, like Odell Beckham should have been ejected in that game, right?
Well, Skip, in '97, we lost to Kansas City. We lost that game. They ended up winning the division. 4 weeks earlier, we had lost to Pittsburgh. So to go to the playoffs, we had to go to Kansas City. We beat them, who had beaten us. Had to go back to Pittsburgh for the AFC Championship game in that building where they had just beaten us.
I remember
that. But we always felt that we were the better team.
Sure.
We felt if we took care of the football, they couldn't beat us. Seattle, you know how they think.
You think they still think they're the better team?
They do. They do. In their hearts, in their back of their minds, they feel they're a better football team.
Do you know how lucky they were that ref blew that call at the end of that early Monday night game against Detroit in Seattle that awarded Seattle a game? That hole could have been dug so deep for them, they'd still be trying to claw out of the hole. So they also have to know in the backs of their mind, they haven't been right all year. They also have to know, and I'm going to sound like my man Stephen A. Smith here, but there are lingering bitterness issues with the head coach and the coordinator over that final play of the Super Bowl, where they never quite got right. They never quite cleared the locker room air. There's still a little haze hanging over that football team.
Oh, you'll never get over that. No matter what's said, you can take the bullet. I'm the head coach. Well, I'm the offensive coordinator. I made the call. Russell Wilson says I have the utmost. You're never getting over that, Skip. Okay. You can win 2 more Super Bowls, but you'll remember you were on the 1-yard line and you made. There's no question. It was the dumbest decision in Super Bowl history.
I loved it.
I
loved it. Yeah, Malcolm Butler loved it. It launched him into stardom. Malcolm Butler.
It gave him supreme confidence, and I think that was one of the reasons that Coach Belichick felt really comfortable in allowing Darrelle Revis to leave, because that play, you make that play at that moment on that stage, what does that do for your confidence? But he's on a team that they're not going to allow him to get too big.
Okay.
Yeah, you made that play now, but whoa.
Okay. All right, that's true. Okay. So now we're down to Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
Will he or won't he ever get healthy this year? I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
So that brings us to Kristen Michael.
Yep.
Formerly of my Dallas Cowboys. A reject by Seattle, now is back, and he's not only back, I think he's going to be in the starting lineup for the foreseeable future. Kristen Michael, so that's all you got? Because Rawls obviously gone. We're iffy at best about Marshawn.
If they win, Skip, it's going to be on the arm of Russell Wilson. I don't believe they can run themselves like they have in years past to a Super Bowl. If they win, it's going to be on the arm of Russell Wilson. And I think he's shown. That's why they gave him that money, Skip. You give a guy $18, $19 million, you're not giving him that money to turn around and hand the ball off.
No, it's not DeAndre money, but it's pretty good, right?
But to be clear, you're both taking Carolina, but we think Seattle's a threat.
I don't know. I think you're heading toward Seattle.
Arizona, any concern for you?
I have to see. I would have to see the last 2 games how Carolina plays, and if they don't get anyone seriously nicked. That's going to be the huge, because these games here, they're playing for. I think they're going to go for it. I really think they're going to go for the 16-0, because you're trying to get an opportunity to do something special.
Okay.
Now, that's not the end-all be-all goal. Your goal is to win the Super Bowl, but in the process, if I can have, I like the cake, but if you're going to give me cheesecake, if you're going to give me pie, you're going to give me ice cream, I'm going to take that too.
You don't eat that stuff.
No, but I'm just saying, I want the cake. But if along the way I can get 16-0,
you're going to eat it too.
I'm not going to eat it.
I'm not turning. I know you guys.
Skip, I'm not turning 16-0. I'm not turning down 16-0.
Okay,
if I got you 14-0, Skip, you got Atlanta and you got Tampa. Now, if you lose to Atlanta, I mean, but you're going to still have to play, because there's something to play for. Because Arizona could still mathematically catch you and be the number 1 seed. And you don't want that to happen.
If Cam goes home to Atlanta and beats the Falcons, which I believe he will, and they're 15.
You got to go for it.
Okay. What would you rather have, 15-1 or a Super Bowl?
I'm too close, Skip. I'm too close.
Skip. You'd rather have a Super Bowl.
I would rather have a Super Bowl, but think about it. You can't play scared. You cannot play that way. If you go, I never went on the field thinking that I was going to get injured. Now, I went on the field and I got injured, dislocated my elbow, broke my collarbone, fractured my eye socket, but I didn't think those things were going to happen. Skip, you're this close. You might not ever get this. Skip. There's no guarantee if you go 16-0, 15-1, you're going to win the Super Bowl anyway.
No guarantee.
So,
all right,
I'm here.
Okay, last quick thought. Yeah. You brought up Arizona. The injury to Tyrann Mathieu. It was just psychologically debilitating to that football team. He was the best player on that defense. He was the playmaker, and to watch him go down on a non-contact interception at the end of a blowout in Philadelphia is just crushing psychologically.
Terrible. And we all wish him a speedy recovery as well. It's terrible.
And he tore the left knee in 2013. Rehabs his way back.
He's a terrible break.
And I think he's going to be an all-pro safety.
Sure.
And now the right knee, he's going to miss the playoffs. I mean, his story about how he came to prominence at LSU kind of threw it all away, had to go into the draft. It's been a remarkable story. He's been spectacular since arriving in the National Football League, and I really hope a speedy recovery.
Yes, all of us. No question. We'll leave it there. And we've got a little tweet here from Stephen A. Smith.
Oh.
He said, special thanks to my man Shannon Sharp for filling in today on First Take. Yes, thank you, of course, Shannon. And to Real Skip Bayless and Molly Karam, I'm great. I'll see you guys in the AM.
Oh, really? Well, wait. He better be watching. When are we going to get to this topic? Is it next? About Aaron Rodgers?
We're Des next.
Oh, Des.
I don't it sounds like he doesn't want to call in.
Stephen A.
We want to hear from you.
Wait for that Aaron Rodgers topic.
Oh, gosh. It's going to go off the rails. No control today. All right, up next, Des Bryant was not the X factor he was for Dallas last season. So does the Cowboys star